You're listening to Media Automated. Join us as we explore the intersection between self-improvement and business excellence, showing you the strategies that will help you take your message, your brand, and your podcast to the next level. Let's begin. Welcome back, friends. This is Bryce Prescott, and this is another episode of Media Automated, where self-improvement meets business excellence. I know I say it every episode, but I'm really excited for today's episode because I'm diving into some things that I think are very relevant, specific to both sides of the coin that we talk about here. As a reminder, this podcast discusses the intersection between, like I said, self-improvement and business excellence. And that includes what I would call inner world principles, things that go on inside of your mind, your mindset, the frames that you use, how you see yourself, the entire dynamic of what it is for you to be who you are and how you were supposed to achieve. And if you're even allowing yourself a willingness to achieve. All that stuff is inside of you. You've got to have that on point. We talk about it in order to succeed. But there's also some very real things as well that I call outer world principles. Things like strategies, marketing, branding, how to say and speak your message into existence in a way that's articulate, how to frame what you're saying in a way that people get it. It invites them in a psychological way to continue to take action towards you or your business. Now, why is this an important episode today? It's because we're going to be talking about something that I've been seeing in a lot of businesses, myself included, that is causing problems for you. And the problem that I see is quite simply, you don't evolve quick enough with what's available to you in your business to grow. Right now, we are in what I would call the golden era of AI. Artificial intelligence has been making its way into the scene, and there are some incredible resources that are out there that, when used, can completely increase productivity for your teams. It can make it so that you can have a higher quality of output when it comes to copywriting and marketing ideas, storyboarding, creation, the whole gamut. And a lot of you haven't even bothered to research any of the options for you for AI. This is kind of a big deal. Like, I don't know what it is. I've noticed for myself, and I know that there's those out there like you that do this. We kind of avoid certain aspects of technology. I want to share with you real quickly a story about my former company. In 2008, I got into the real estate owned market, REOs for real estate. If you're not familiar with what that means, it basically means that the bank has taken the home back in foreclosure and it's deemed real estate owned by the bank. Well, back in 2008, if you recall, there was a credit crisis and the mortgage market collapsed, the housing market collapsed, money dried up, and we were left with literally hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of homes in the United States that were owned by banks. Well, that produced an opportunity for myself and my partner to go in and buy these homes at a discounted rate in a way so that we could resell them or do value adds so that they would be something an investor might consider buying. The manner to which we did that is we used a seller financing mortgage model where we were able to buy homes at a very, very high discount. I mean, we're talking sometimes pennies on the dollar. And we would go in and using seller financing, meaning we were the bank, and we would recreate a mortgage loan that would be able to be purchased or usable by somebody in a community that wasn't that strong without having to qualify for traditional bank financing. I'm really proud of the work we did. Part of what allowed me to do the numbers that we did in that business is that we created a piece of software that allowed investors and clients of ours to go in and to do due diligence on 10, 20, 50, 100 properties at a time. So instead of having to do onesie, twosie type due diligence on any investment property in real estate that you would buy, we made it so you could do dozens at a time. We also had a mechanism that allowed you to purchase directly from our website real estate. It was on the forefront of technology. We were some of the first to ever do this, and we were very successful in doing it. But this is what happened to us, and this is the reason I wanted to tell you about the importance of embracing technology and being willing to incorporate technology into your business. About 2010, in about 2010, the laws associated with how banks were required to keep their books started to change. And our business model, to which we were buying these homes extremely discounted from banks because they had to get rid of them or risk being shut down by the FDIC, went away. We now no longer had a business model. We were legislated out of our business model. And so instead of evolving based off of the new opportunities that the market had given us, instead of using technology in a new way, we became a dinosaur. And we were out of business in less than a year later. We had gone from selling literally thousands of homes over the course of 3 years to not being able to close a deal because we didn't have the right mindset towards how we were looking at what was available for our real estate business. Looking back in retrospect, what I realized is that was on us, namely because there was technology and there were things available that we could have used using our own tech to adapt into a business model that would have been far more lucrative than the one we had just been in. All because we didn't adapt with tech. So when I look around and I see people that are in the branding space, that are podcasters, that have a message to get out there, that have a product or service, you cannot avoid seeking for the easiest ways to do this. Everybody has a supercomputer in their pocket. Everybody's got phones. These phones have more technology in them than the space shuttle had back in the 80s. It's ridiculous how much technology affects us and our ability to use and to grow and to make money doing it. But with that comes a responsibility to continually grow and learn. The reason why I'll bring this up is because I want to instill in you a very real fear. I want you to fear not learning enough with tech so that you actually go and learn. There are problems that your business has right now that technology can solve. That if you were to incorporate what AI can do in the many different facets, it could fix that problem for you. But you have to know about it. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today, and I even referenced this on my Instagram stories last week, is I wanted to dive into Chat GPT and talk about this as an AI tool that can be used for your business. See, there's been speak that AI is going to replace us. That if you're a copywriter, well, you're going to be replaced by AI. If you're a content creator, you're going to be replaced by AI. I vehemently disagree with this reality. What the actualness of this is that if you do not incorporate AI into your business as a copywriter or a content creator or fill in the blank, you will then be replaced by somebody that does. See, AI is a tool. It's something that we can use. It's not morally one way or the other. It's just available for us to use it. And as I've spent some time in the last several weeks really learning this and seeing the power of it, I've already started adding it into what we do in Media Automated as a production tool, as a way to have better SEO for the episode descriptions that we create, as a way to understand better meta tagging, as a way to search and mine transcriptions of episodes to give us a better understanding of exactly what's spoken about so that we can market and promote it better. And this is a free website. If you go to openai.com and scroll to where it says try Chat GPT, you will be able to do this too. But the bigger point I want to make here is that don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of using apps. That's all this is. Everybody's talking about Chat GPT and AI and everything. It's just an app. If you have an Otter AI subscription, you are using an app, a computer-generated intelligence to transcribe for you. If you're using any of Canva is an application that uses technology to create very easily beautiful images and memes and pictures. If you're using Word Swag, it's another one. There's all these apps that we can incorporate that basically just collapse time. But I wanted to talk specifically about Chat GPT because a lot of people misunderstand it. I'm going to read from you directly what Chat GPT told me Chat GPT is. Chat GPT is this. It says Chat GPT, which is short for Chatbot Generative Pre-trained Transformer, is an advanced artificial intelligence language model developed by OpenAI. It is based in the GPT structure. And just for review, the GPT structure is Generative Pre-trained Transformer. I don't know what a transformer is. All right. But that's what Chat GPT is. Generative, pre-trained, transformer. Got it. All right. The primary function of Chat GPT is to engage in text-based conversations with users, promoting contextually relevant and coherent responses. All right, that's a lot of nonsense to say. What Chat GPT does is it has a conversation with you. I want you to imagine this tool. Every business owner should be starting and learning how to maximize what Chat GPT does for them. But let's, outside of all the fancy speak, talk about what it is. I want you to imagine that Siri on your phone was actually usably smart, okay? She's kind of an idiot. Hey, Siri, tell me this. She doesn't know what to do. She pulls up a website and says, go look here, okay? One of the misconceptions about ChatGPT is that they think it's like Google. That, I'm just going to go and ask it stuff, which it very well provides feedback. But that is not even remotely close to the power of what ChatGPT is. I want you to imagine that you have on your staff the most well-versed, highly trained, smartest person you've ever met on the planet at your disposal, and there's not a single thing they don't know as long as you ask them the right questions to get to that knowledge base. Anything that you could consider, it can build for you. And furthermore, the release of ChatGPT 4 has been recent. That allows up to 20,000 words per prompt, which a prompt is a request. It's basically the window that you type it in. When you type in a prompt, it allows up to 20,000 words as a part of what you can ask this deep learning model of artificial intelligence. I want you to consider the power of that, okay? Here's an example. One of the ways that I've used ChatGPT is I've gone to it specifically for social media ideas. As somebody that runs a very small account, my personal Instagram has far more followers. My personal brand, period, has far more attention and influence than my company one does. It's a very small account so far. And I'm using some of the things that I've been learning about growth from ChatGPT and other sources to grow that as an example of what you can see by using it. So, and I'm documenting it on the page. I'm like, look, this is really small now. This is what we're doing. This is how it's going to grow. One of the things that I did is I said, I went to ChatGPT and in a very simple way, I said, give me ideas that are engaging in a voice that is provocative and even controversial, talking about why somebody needs a podcast, why automating it and having somebody else, paying somebody else to handle it is good, and what that means for them and their business. A lot of the content that you have been seeing on my page hasn't specifically been written by ChatGPT, but it's inspired it to where I've gone in and I've added my own voice. As an example, yesterday, the day after recording this episode, I did a carousel about the history of podcasting. A lot of people don't even know what podcasting is. I gave a little deal talking about it's the blend of the words iPod and broadcasting, how some major things happened because of the release of the iPod. There was the apps that were created that allowed people to download certain things. I learned that from ChatGPT. Makes me look smarter. Can make you look smarter too. So let's talk about the specifics of this because, like I said, I'm committed to giving you real world examples on how to make your business better. So I have a prompt. I guess I should really discuss the format to how this works, right? So there's several different options that you can do this, but basically there's nothing ChatGPT doesn't know. So for example, if you are wanting to write a book, you can say to it, pretend you are a New York Times best-selling author and you're writing your next book and you want this book to be about trees. I don't know, pick whatever. Please provide me a 15-chapter outline that would tell me exactly how best to create the story with these points of the story. And then it will give you that outline. My wife and I were playing around with it, and we did this example where we said, my wife has a very high-profile client in her Pilates business. And part of the appeal of this high-profile client using my wife is because she is a boutique shop for Pilates. It's very private. It's custom. this person that's in the public eye can come and use this and not have to deal with the rhetoric of the public and going to a big box gym or another more public place. So I told Chat GPT, I said, write me a story about a woman named Amy that has a famous client as a Pilates instructor and how it boosts her into superstardom to become the Pilates instructor for the celebrities that need that work. It wrote out an entire story that's hilarious about this woman named Amy that just so happened to stumble onto this experience where she got this celebrity client and this thing happened to her, and then it wrote the story. I've gone to Chat GPT and I've said, write me a joke in the voice of Bill Burr about Winnebagos. And it wrote me a joke in the voice of Bill Burr about Winnebagos. Now, again, the reason why this is important to you as a business owner is there's something in your business that you are doing that is costing you time and money that you could replace with Chat GPT and offer a higher quality of service to your clients when you do it. So here's something, and again, I'll use this as an example of my own business. If you're listening to a podcast episode and you go to the episode description, everything that is written in the episode description plays into search engine optimization for the directories that use it. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Audible, Amazon Prime, all of those directories that host your podcast, they go through and they search with their algorithms, your episode's descriptions, what's written there for the search criteria. So it would make sense that you would want to have a very SEO-rich episode description, not only for the search capabilities, but so that when somebody reads it, they get a really good idea of what the episode would be. So what we've been doing on our end is we've been utilizing the ability of longer prompts to put an entire transcription of an episode into Chat GPT and saying, give me a description of this episode in 2 paragraphs that has all of the key SEO words that would be required for this to be found maximum in search. Give me the meta tags that we can insert as the metadata as well when we upload it to the RSS feed so that we can have it be that it's found easier. This is normally work that's very intellectually driven. It requires somebody to listen to the episode, to read a transcription of the episode, to pick out key words that are used that would be representative of that. And even at that point, it's flawed because of humans are. By using this, we've taken a task that used to take each one of my engineers about an hour and a half to complete per episode down to about 5 minutes. So what does that mean for you and your business? I don't know yet. But what I'm telling you is that you need to relieve yourself of any fear of using AI. Chat GPT is here to stay, and it's only getting better. And right now we are in a period of time where when you use these tools for the benefit of your business, you can increase your productivity, increase your profitability, which then inherently increases your longevity. So ask yourself, why would you be adverse to that? You should be looking for every excuse to make your business better, more proficient, and more profitable. One of the things that I did is I actually had a training with my staff. And I said, look, folks, there's some of the stuff that you're doing here that you're taking way too long in and the quality is suspect. How about now we do this and you use this and it's going to free up your time and it's allowing me to put more things on their plate. And they're fine with it because of how much time we're saving by using AI. Like I said, it's just an app. And I want you to understand it and I want you to use it. Now, I've talked a lot about what that means and why you'd want to use it, but I want to address something else. I want to address what would happen if you didn't. Because that's a very real thing. There's what if I don't? What if I don't care? Quite simply, this is where your business will go. You will be like my real estate business back in the late 2000s, and you will become a dinosaur. You will not be able to compete. You will have a misunderstanding on what your employees' needs are based off of what they are able to provide you. You will have a misunderstanding of how to attract good clients and good good staff simply because you're old school and you do it the wrong way. It's like using a legal pad as opposed to a laptop to type things out. One of the other things that will happen is you ultimately will become irrelevant. There's very, very few businesses that have a legacy component that can last through technology's growth and have it not affect them. Think about companies like Blockbuster. Technology is what forced them out of business because they were brick and mortar and they had the CDs, and Netflix comes in and changes the whole model. That was technology based. There is a piece of technology, there's something that AI does that if you were to research it and apply it to your business, it can make your business that much better. And of course, I want that for you. If you're giving me the time of day to listen to these podcasts and to be better about your mindset and your mental programming, as well as to have better ideas for the outside of your business and how to attract a better brand, a better message, and to say the things that are going to be best for your clients, you should be doing the things that I'm telling you to do. And that's where this comes in. I want you to go research this. I want you to go openai.com, poke around, learn about how prompts work. I have a little teaser for you here as a little value add. I stumbled across the prompt, and like I said, a prompt is just a request. You have to word your requests with Chat GPT in a certain way to get exactly what you want. And the more descriptive and robust your request is, the more powerful the response will be. I stumbled across the prompt of all prompts. The prompt creates a prompt that allows you to tell it exactly what you need for an intended outcome and outlines exactly how to do it. The first sentence of this prompt is, I need you to act as a prompt generating robot. I am asking Chat GPT to become a robot that generates prompts that gives me exactly what I need. This prompt asks you questions, and then it spits back out to you the real prompt that you would use. I've used this to create social media marketing strategies that are bulletproof. I've used this prompt to create training modules and blueprints on things that we do in the coaching aspect of my business. I've used this prompt to the depth of what this prompt can do to you is great. And I want to offer this to you for free, but in order to get it, I need you to go to Media Automated on Instagram. It's just at Media Automated. Send me a DM there. Just have the DM say prompt, and I will send you a copy paste of this because I want you to have it. It is ridiculous, the power of this prompt. It created for me a Twitter strategy. It created for me an outline of how to do things differently with my comedy career and to shorten the distance on how to get engagement and more influence and fame. It's just ridiculous. And I've got it for you. I want to offer it for free, but you got to DM me on my Instagram at Media Automated. Just say prompt in the DM, and I'll send you a copy paste of this. Look, I know that this doesn't solve any of your problems when it comes to this on this episode. I know that there's a lot of reluctance when it comes to adopting technology and adopting AI. There's a lot of fears associated with it, and some of those fears might be valid. But I'm of the belief that if we, and this might sound a little conspiracy theorist, but I'm of the belief that before this world becomes Skynet and Terminator comes down to try to handle everybody, we have a chance as humanity to elevate ourselves to be partners with AI. If we provide a worthy partner to these artificial intelligence, deep learning models, we have a better chance of outliving the fear of what the singularity is and the point where the machines take over. So part of that is using it to our advantage in a way that elevates us, and it elevates our businesses, it elevates us as humans, it elevates us in our mindsets, it elevates us as just more proficient and productive individuals. So anyway, I've kind of been all over the place with this, but my friends, I really appreciate you tuning into this episode. I do have an ask. If you got anything out of this, if you felt that I hit the mark or I inspired you to take action, or you've gotten some cool stuff about Chat GPT, I ask that you would go and leave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. That really helps me to grow this podcast, being that this is the 5th episode. As well, I ask that if there's something about this that really resonated and hit the mark, please share it on social media. Keep the conversation going. I invite you as well, you want to reach out to me on any of my socials, either my personal one at Bryce Prescott or Media Automated. I'm glad to entertain conversation there that would help you in the right direction. Again, the whole point of why I'm doing this podcast is because as the founder of Media Automated and being in the podcasting and branding and messaging business, I recognize how important it is to really understand all of these peripheries of your business, like the problem that you solve, like who you solve it for, and then being able to drill into those areas with really great content. What I've shared with you today is a treasure trove of ideas and a treasure chest of places of gold that you can get to use to make your business better. But as well, I'll just say this, if you need help with your podcasts, reach out to me. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for this episode. Like I said, please share it. Let's keep the conversation going. Give me a 5-star rating and review, and I'll see you next week.